Hi everybody. This is a video that follows another video that I've taken down, or made private actually, too. It was about the death of two pastors. Not really death, because no one really dies until the second death. You're not really dead. In fact, everyone who ever lived is still alive. No one is in the lake of fire except the false prophet and the beast at the second coming. And they're still not in the lake of fire either. The lake of fire is, of course, the end. It's a second death. And everyone that's ever lived will enter a judgment seat at some point. The bride is not going to be subject to judgment because the bride is going to be living for 1,000 years with Yahusha. And that's our blessed hope. That's our big hope. But yesterday I made a video, and it was basically because I was devastated when I saw this announcement on YouTube of these two men in separate cases from this website that apparently, or channel on YouTube, that announces dead people. And I'm a sucker for that. And I apologize to all of you, especially my subscribers, for leading you to believe that I was lying to you. And I'm not about lying. I think those who know me know that I don't intentionally or maliciously lie. I'm trying to bring people to the truth. But with Yahusha, I can't do anything. It's a matter of him preparing your heart for the truth. But anyway, I had announced in this video, it was 6 minutes or something, and I had said that these two pastors had died, and I looked around and people were telling me in the comments, "Hey, he's not dead. They're not dead." And I'm going, "What?" I just saw the thing, and I shared the link with them, and it's just, we can be deceived. What's next? Are they going to be telling us that they landed on the moon, or they didn't land on the moon, or there's all kinds of things that people talk about, that they're upset and divided over. But I really didn't mean to do this to you. And apparently these men are still breathing air, so they're still conscious and happy. And but anyway, I had known that one guy for since 2007, when I first contacted him on the internet. And anyway, I was just trying to ask him how he could believe the things that he believes. You know how I am. I just I wasn't confrontational. I was always kind about it. But lying is not allowed. We're not allowed to lie. But it really brought out some of the features of the character that's in people, because the comments that were left in that video, I don't care what they think of me, but wow, it was really sad to watch, because people were peeling back the onion and showing their inner selves, and calling people names and saying, "You can't judge," or "You can judge," or whatever. I'm going, wait a minute, there's only one judge, the judge of heaven and earth. But I try to stay scriptural. But all the people that have ever lived are not really dead. They're not dead yet. No one is. They only died in the flesh. Their flesh died. And all the rest of us are waiting for that moment, unless Yahusha tarries and changes us into immortality. And the only ones that are going to be changed at his coming are going to be his bride. That's it. And the ones that may be okay eternally will have to wait 1,000 years. But this is a book about lying. It's a book that I put out called The Lie, and I just came out with this on audio. It's a robot audio, but you can still get the idea of it. You go to sleep listening to it, or driving, or whatever. But it's an audio book now on Audible. It's also available as an ebook, and you can order it from Amazon.com or from Torazone.net if you just need this book quick. So I wanted to read page 79, just one page. Because somebody else had contacted me by email saying, oh no, we've got this person that's really stuck on these false doctrines and we're trying to help them. Well, let me read this little page to you. Yechezkel, the one they call Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 10, records that Yahuwah's people had forsaken him by placing these symbols inside his dwelling place, in his temple, his Hekel, his Mishkan. Quote, and I went in, now this is Yahuwah talking, okay, and I went in and looked and saw all kinds of creeping creatures, abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Yisrael carved all around the walls. What could that be? Many synagogues in the past, they were putting zodiacs in the floor tiles. The signs of the zodiac are a living zoo of imaginary creatures depicted to be in the heavens by connecting the dots of stars, constellations, constellation. That means to gather together a group of stars into a shape. All right? Now, it's also referred to as the Mazzaroth, which is not really necessarily referring to that specifically, because the Mazzaroth is actually all the stars together, and it doesn't shape an animal. It doesn't mention that in the scriptures. Anyway, the book of Ayub or Job is often misconstrued to mean that, but that's not what those verses are saying. Okay, the signs of the zodiac are a living zoo, and Yahuwah warned us of this, making images of things in the sky. Okay, and here's where he said it in the covenant. Quote, you do not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the Shamayim above, or which is in the Eretz beneath, or which is in the Mayim under the Eretz, like fish. You do not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous Al, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing kindness to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands. Now that's unquote. That's in Exodus or Shemoth, chapter 20, verses 4 through 8. So you're not supposed to make images of things in the sky. That's the zodiac that he's referring to, because it's that old. They were doing that stuff in Babel. Yahuwah created the lights to be for signs and seasons, where signs actually mean signals, not messages, not within themselves. The signs signal the seasons or appointments that directly relate to the redemption plan shadowed in the 7 appointed times. They're also called Moedim. Shaitan, that would be the devil, misdirects our attention away from the true outline of our redemption, the 7 annual appointments. And it makes it seem the Mazzaroth of ancient Babel had the plan all along. Yahuwah told us not to fear the signs of the heavens in the way of the Gentiles. Now this is a quote from Yirmiyahu chapter 10, verse 2. I'm reading for the BYNV in this book. Quote, thus said Yahuwah, do not learn the way of the Gentiles, and do not be awed of the signs in the heavens, for the Gentiles are awed by them. Unquote. What's your sign? A constellation or the Sabbath? Sabbath is our sign in this house. See also Exodus 31:16, 31:17, Deuteronomy 4:15 through 19, and Deuteronomy 5:7 through 10. Syncretism is making stuff mean other stuff. This is a quote from Maimonides, the Rambam, who lived from 1135 to 1204. Quote, "Men like the opinions to which they have been accustomed to from their youth. They defend them, and they shun contrary views. And this is one of the things that prevents men from finding truth, for they cling to the opinion of habit." Unquote. Well, that's one page in this book, The Lie. And I did not mean to lie to you. I repent. I did not know it was a lie. That's the thing that's so bad about lying to people. They think it's true, and then it turns out not to be true. Like Santa Claus. If you teach your children that there's a Santa Claus, and that he's going to bring gifts to them, come down the chimney, or you're going to make wishes to invisible genies in front of a birthday cake with fire on top, that's misleading children. You don't want to do that. Anyway, I apologize. I'm so sorry about that video. And if any of you all still have the link to pass around, don't believe it. These two men are still alive. Well, thanks for watching this, and we'll see you in the next exciting video. Bye.